Good evening and welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Sword. We got some great news on the injury front. Drake London left the fourth quarter of this game on Sunday in week 1 against the Buccaneers. It looked like he is going to be good to go. It seemed like he was destined, in my opinion, to miss at least a week or two, but he's back at practice, and Raheem Morris says he's expected to play. Darnell Mooney's also back at practice, and he was a game-time decision, so it looks like he's on track to play on Sunday against the Vikings. So getting two of your two top receiving threats for a game against a defense that is very, very potent. A very, very good defense in the Minnesota Vikings. You'd like to have both of them out there, and it looks like it's trending in that direction.
I don't think it's crazy to say, and I know this is going to be taken the wrong way if Bucs fans come across it, but if we had Darnell Mooney and Drake London, we win that game. I mean, Kadero Hodge had the ball. If he had just stretched out his hands, he catches that game-winning touchdown. And that is clearly a chemistry issue where Kadero Hodge wasn't expecting the ball at all, whereas somebody like Drake London or Darnell Mooney, we pay them like they should make that catch. I don't think it's crazy. Now, obviously, if a Bucs fan hears that, he goes, "Oh, we didn't have Chris Godwin. We didn't have Tristan Wirfs. And, we didn't have Caleb McGarry. And football is football. We didn't have those guys. We lost the game, but that's just how important they are."
Well, imagine if it was Drake London also, obviously on the play where Kadero Hodge wasn't really expecting the ball. If it's Drake London or Darnell Mooney, you expect one of them has a very good chance of making that play. But imagine if it's Drake London that's getting hit by Anton Winfield. Now, that was an unbelievable play on Casey Washington. 6'5" Drake London or whatever he is. 220 pounds. Just being a little bit more of a veteran, being a little bit more used to the situation, being the size that he is, does Winfield go in like that there's a bunch of questions. So yeah, I don't think that's crazy to say. And I think, they definitely, Drake London probably makes those catches at the end of the game if he's not dealing with a shoulder injury as well. But it's good to have both of them back because as we get into this preview of this game, and we kind of hinted at it, this is a scary matchup. Now, this is a matchup the Falcons can win. I thought J.J. McCarthy showed a lot of gumption in the second half of that game, but for 2.5 quarters there,
he looked awful.
Yeah, that was not a good team. That was not a good team. But you know what you're going to get on the other side from Brian Flores and this Vikings defense, and they dominated us. And I know Kirk Cousins was the quarterback, and that was in the middle of that weird time where Cousins wasn't playing his best and he was injured and stuff like that. But, there's a long way that the Falcons have to improve look better.
Let's get into the matchup. Yeah. We might as well. Do you want to do it now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We're outmatched on the coaching staff, and that is my biggest concern. Everywhere you turn, we are outmatched. Kevin O'Connell is a better head coach. He is a better offensive coordinator, and Brian Flores probably should be a head coach right now. I think that goes without saying. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. That's where I'm most scared about this matchup because on paper, they probably, Justin Jefferson is probably better than, Drake London in that regard. Their front seven is certainly better than ours. Their pass rush is certainly better than ours. I'd say the safeties are probably a wash. You'd probably give us the edge. Their offensive line's got some concerns, and so does ours. And J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix, neither of them really have any experience. But where I am most concerned about losing this game is in no one who is going to touch the field. It's everyone who is not going to touch the field.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's exactly the way that I was thinking about it. Kevin O'Connell's, in my opinion, the most underrated head football coach in the entire league. The Minnesota Vikings, it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for that team, has been good. 11, 12 wins, and yeah, they've struggled in the playoffs, but it just shows you they have no business winning 12 games. But they go out there and do it every single time, whether it's Kirk Cousins or Sam Darnold or now even J.J. McCarthy. You can pencil him for double-digit wins. And they're always a game on the schedule. There's a lot of teams like this, the Steelers and stuff like that, where you look at it at the beginning of the season and you're like, yeah, we could win that game. We could win that game. And then you get in there on Sunday and it's like, we're so overmatched for some reason. I feel like it shouldn't be this bad. But we're out-coached. They don't make mistakes. Their defense plays very hard. Brian Flores dials up some blitzes. You turn the ball over, and all of a sudden you're down 10 points, before halftime. And you're like, how the hell did all this get so out of hand? It doesn't look that on paper that different. So the coaching staff of Minnesota deserves a ton of praise. And they carry this team to probably 3 or 4 more wins than they should get every single season. So yeah, that's definitely my biggest concern, especially after week 1, especially after last season, especially after what we've seen from Raheem Morris and our coaching staff. Now, I think this is going to be a low scoring game. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen defensively. I mean, talk about a potential matchup where Jeff Ulbrich and the Bucs got a great offense. They didn't look great against us, and I think that's a testament to what we were able to do. Now you get a rookie quarterback, essentially making his second start ever after, he had that good second half, but you got an opportunity here to build off what you were able to do. So everything that I'm scared about on the offensive side of the ball and being able to protect Michael Penix, I trust Penix more than I trust McCarthy at this point from what we've seen. And if our defense can continue to build off that, they do have a chance of winning that game.
Yeah, the defense and Michael Penix are the only reason I give the Falcons a fighter's chance in this game, and we're going to be saying that a lot this year. I think so, and that's what you have with Matt Ryan, and that's what you have with these franchise quarterbacks where we haven't had this in a very long time. We had to play a damn near perfect game to win ball games. But what it's going to come down to is the same thing it always comes down to with the Falcons. It's always going to be a one-score game. It's always going to be one on the margins, and it's going to be one on special teams. And quite frankly, we lost on special teams last week in week 1. And it's going to take cleaning that up, whether it's Koo or this new kicker we've got, or the special teams, somebody makes a play. Bradley Pinion is certainly not to blame. That guy,
Yeah.
That guy's got an absolute leg.
Yeah,
but
sometimes too good of a leg.
Yeah, out punting. I think Vilma said that. I don't know who said that.
Vilma.
That is such a
We gotta stop
stupid. That is such a stupid thing. If you go back and look at that play, they showed a replay that talking about he really outkicked his guy. D'Angelo Malone was like arm's distance to a Falcons player. That's like the number one no-no on any punt or kick coverage is to stay in your lane and keep contained. And like everyone just ignored. I was like, this is crazy. It's like I'm watching a completely different game. Out punting your coverage is a thing, but it certainly wasn't that. Not that moment. But it's going to come down to a Coop field goal. Like, can we stop beating around the bush?
Or Roma.
Or Roma, whoever it is. We don't even have to. We can talk about the X's and O's and the matchups and the coaches and everything like that. The fact of the matter is Michael Penix Jr. is good enough already. He's going to give this team a chance. And the defense is good enough now. It's going to give this team a chance. It's going to be one on the margins. It's that simple. Can he make a damn kick? Yeah. Whoever it is.
Well, here's one thing that I'm feeling confident about with Michael Penix. And I like that you got like the Bowles test out of the way, because Bowles is kind of similar in Brian Flores, as he's going to bring a lot of creative blitzes and stuff like that. And you go look at Michael Penix's numbers under pressure last week. Unbelievable. Nobody was better. Like he was outstanding under pressure. And you saw that, whether it was with his legs or whether it was with his arm, there were some plays, like he had a play out there where he's under pressure. He kind of escapes the pressure, steps back out, flips his hips, throws a bullet to the sideline to Casey Washington in a place where only he can catch it. That's insanity. And that's what he was able to do against Tampa Bay's defense that was able to get pressure consistently on him. So it seems like, he did have that test in week 1 and he passed with flying colors. Now
he's going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
Because you just saw what the Vikings did to Caleb Williams. That guy was running for his life.
That's what I'm like. I do feel, and it's strange to say this about a quarterback, who's going to be making his 5th NFL start, but that's just how good he's been.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident he's going to make some plays in that situation that probably shouldn't. Can the Falcons get a turnover? Like, can they make JJ McCarthy?
Should have had a few.
Yeah. Can they do that in week 2? I think that's what's going to come down to, because I listen, the margins are going to be a problem all season, whether it's us missing kicks or whether it's our special teams or whether it's coaching blunders, whatever it is, losing on 4th and 1 and losing to the other team. We're probably going to lose a couple of those in this game. Wouldn't shock me at all. I expect that. So how are you going to make up for that? You got to get a turnover. You got to win the turnover margin if you're going to win this game. It does scare me. I think there's a potential for the Falcons to win. I remember last week we were kind of down after a week 1 loss, and then we go into Philly. We're like, no way we win this. And, we pull one out of our butts. So listen, on Sunday Night Football. So very reminiscent to last year. Can they do it again?
Yeah. I mean, I have, at the very least, Falcons fans, it's not like we're dreading Sunday to watch Desmond Ridder or an injury-riddled Kirk Cousins.
I mean, I'm excited.
Like, at least we get to watch Michael Penix Jr. Like, at least that much is true. I'm not saying we're going to win this game. I do give us a fighter's chance. We will now always have a puncher's chance with Michael Penix.
Mhm.
And it's so nice to say that and have that again.
Yep, I agree. We'll get into some predictions tomorrow. You're going to have to wait for those on our Friday show. We're going to talk some college football, get a little deeper dive on the Georgia Bulldogs and Tennessee Volunteers matchups. And then we're also going to talk about that Georgia Tech Clemson matchup. And I'm feeling a little bit better than I did at the start of the year on that one. We'll talk about it after the break.